Guess who's back? All right. Well, actually, guess who is back? Catenaccio Podcast is back with a bang. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while, and I missed this. I really missed this, and yeah, I'm glad the season ended the way it did. Because if not, I think this episode would have been a lot harder to do. Obviously, the only shame is that the guy to my left here is champion of Italy, but. It's fine. We needed one of those in our group as well. But guys, what an episode we have in front of us. We're gonna do a bit of a season review today. We're gonna look at the team of the season. We're gonna look at just having a chat. In general, it's gonna be a very chilled out episode. We're just gonna have a chat about how this season has ended, who disappointed us, who did well. We're gonna build a top 11 and a flop 11. Talk about the MVP awards that came out today. And probably about just a tad about the managerial changes which are happening right now, especially with Conte leaving Inter. We'll ask Amy about that. We'll ask probably Luca about how he feels about Pioli being confirmed. Speaking of Luca, look at it, the ray of light shining on him, blessing us as always. And then we'll ask Ricky what he thinks about Allegri coming back, and Jonathan about Inzaghi leaving. But I mentioned her name, so let me introduce the rest of the gang. First of all, to my left here, Emiliano, the champion of Italy. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, guys. This is actually my first time talking about football in the last probably week and a half. After the Conte announcement, I went I completely gave up on football for a whole week. I was tempted. I didn't watch the Europa League final, and almost didn't watch the Champions League final. That's the level I was at. But glad to be back now. Hopefully, we can have a nice discussion.
I actually didn't watch either of the finals. I feel really bad. I don't know. I just missed them, and apparently,
I don't think you can be the host anymore after that, mate.
Yeah,
missed both European finals.
Yeah, I know, right? But I saw the highlights anyway. But well, the guy who's basically trying to cause a mutiny, Luca. What's up, Luca?
Hey guys, happy to be back. Yeah, it's been quite a while now, a couple of weeks. It's going to be an interesting podcast. I only have one request for you guys for the flop 11. If anyone even tries to mention Tonali, I'm leaving right away.
He's at number one.
No, don't even try it. Other than that, I'm open to anything.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna clip that. I'm open to anything. Ricky, directly from the best resort in Sardinia. His hair it looks like one of those sponges you use to wash yourself in the shower. What's up, Ricky?
Yeah, sorry. I was swimming in the sea today, and just I had my hair dry in the sun, and so I didn't. No, but what I wanted to say, I think Ale, you said you didn't watch the two European finals, but you're the perfect host for this Serie A show, because you're the guy that will watch Bologna Benevento instead.
It's loyalty. It's called loyalty.
Luca, do you remember that time it was like City United or something? It was like the best game. I was like, nah, boys, I'm watching Benevento.
I think I texted you. I texted you. It was like, hey, did you see that goal? It was like Manchester City. Did you see that goal? Oh no, I'm watching Torino Crotone. Okay.
And then last but not least, he's not on camera right now. Jonathan Kunze. What's up, Jonathan?
Yo, I don't know. I was heartbroken, but Don Lotito provides.
Well, we're not sure yet, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
He's reinvesting with Salernitana money. I'm telling you, he's selling it.
Well, let's Salernitana money. Well, how much could it be?
He's a Serie A team. You can sell it for some big money, bro.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Anyway, what a pleasure to be back with you guys.
Yeah, guys, it's
there's a lot to talk about. It's like 3 weeks of news.
Too much to talk about almost.
Yeah, so I think we left off at what was it? These games, Napoli Udinese.
Match day 36.
Wow.
We left talk about this game. Just skip to it.
Then we skipped off at Juve to Inter, which would have been a really interesting episode. It was a shame.
Thank God. I would have like.
Oh, which was a shame because Lucas bet as well flew off because of that. Because you remember you said
but you guys said you gave me a pass because they won the Scudetto before they lost.
And then Milan Cagliari, man. I think if I did that episode after Milan Cagliari, I would probably like shot myself live. And then last but not least, last game day, which we'll actually talk about, Milan winning 2-0 against Atalanta with Frank Kessie being just a god among men. Juve beating Bologna, doing what they did, and then Napoli absolutely bottling it against Verona. So we won't talk about the other results as much. Crotone Fiorentina, not much to say. And all the other games were Cagliari Genoa. Yeah, not actually Sassuolo Lazio. But Roma Spezia tying, and I think Roma retained.
One
the
quick thing
Conference
about
League.
Roma. Do you think that Mourinho is happy that they tied? I think he would have preferred a loss.
Honestly, I think they're just gonna put the B team or C team in the Conference Cup or Conference League and
Just get them some experience.
No, instantly they just get out of the cup. I don't think there's any worth in it.
All right,
even if you only get Europa League.
Away games in Slovenia or Azerbaijan.
Probably they just got the extra tiny bit of money from the Conference League, and they're gonna play the C team and.
Honestly, that's the thing I was thinking about. For the smaller teams like Sassuolo, at the end of the day, how much? I think it's more of a cost than a benefit because you need a longer team, and that means you need to invest more money. And there's probably a cost in flights as well. And at the end of the day, it's also if you gain anything, unless you go and win it. But
I feel like it would have been great with fans, of course. You get to travel, especially for smaller teams that they usually don't get the chance of traveling around Europe, seeing different.
The point is,
cities,
the money for traveling and stuff has to come out of our pocket. I mean, if it was paid
I think they'd still make money at the end of the day with extra jerseys being sold and extra TV right money.
That's special.
Probably it's not as big of a benefit as some make it out to be.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, everyone was UEFA keeps saying Conference League. Oh yeah, we're helping out the smaller teams. We still have 7 European places in Serie A. It's not like they gave us an extra spot.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's the same amount, but
they just gave spots to the Faroe Islands and.
I honestly think they should have made it more focused on, let's say, lower leagues where you don't even give a spot to Serie A, something like that. Only if you get knocked out of Europa League, you get
a secondary European, for the smaller nation, another Champions League. I get what you mean. For really crappy ones, But to be fair, who the hell would have watched that? You know what I mean?
I think for the fans of the teams would have been quite nice. You still get a European Cup.
Yeah, but you still need someone to invest in the advertisement and stuff to make the actual money. They don't make tournaments because they want
it's a strange competition, this Conference League. I think we spoke about it sometime a couple of months ago, and the main issue I remember saying that teams maybe Roma could have still handled it, but Sassuolo, Sampdoria, or Hellas, they have very short players, spots in the team, and so they would probably have very a lot of difficulties to focus both on the Serie A and this Conference League. So
100%, I agree. Well, guys, let's go in order. Let's go bottom to top. Sorry if I say this, but let's give this bit of a fan review on our own teams this season. We'll start with Lazio. Jonathan, do you want to talk us through the season, and then should we we'll talk through the seasons first, and then we'll go through the managerial stuff. But tell us about the season. How satisfied are you? Were you expecting more? Were you expecting less?
Yeah, so
what you want? What change would you like to see next year as well? Go on.
No, I'm just going to talk about the season. I think we can talk about changes later, but it started really badly. I don't know if you guys remembered. We weren't winning games at the start. We lost 3-0 to Sampdoria. It was going terribly. And then we kind of turned it around. We were in the running for fourth, and then we would go for a bad streak again, and then we would be winning again. However, we did get top 16 in Champions League, which is pretty good. So overall, I don't know, and we still got to Europa League. So I'd say our season was pretty much a success. It might sound small mentality, but the problem was we screwed our transfer market up so badly that you couldn't expect that much more. That's the problem. In my opinion, we could have done a lot more of a season, and we could have expected a lot more of a season if our transfers were different. If we didn't blow 20 million on Muric and instead focus on more important positions. If David Silva actually joined us, I don't know.
I completely forgot that was a thing this summer. Now that you say it comes back, but I completely forgot that was a thing.
Our window was looking to be Kumbula and David Silva and others to Muric and Fares. You have to understand. Do you guys remember how David Silva was basically Lazio's 99%?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Changed a lot.
I have to say, and the thing is, the table is kind of a lie because we finished comfortably in Europa League a lot earlier, and then we just started sacking games because our season was over. So
if you
we were pretty close to
a chance to get in Champions League, you wouldn't have finished with 68 points.
We were pretty close to top 4 for a while. So I have to say our season was pretty good. all considered, I think we played pretty well with what we had. It might sound, I might sound like a loser, sure, whatever, but that's the reality.
Fair enough.
And I
fair
think
enough.
it's a testament. It's a testament to Simone Inzaghi and what he brings to the team, which is with him, we always got the Europa League. He always guaranteed that. So
Fair
I
enough.
hope he has a slightly bigger ambitions next season, though.
I think, his team is like 20 times better, bro.
He's gonna
Instead
bring
of
in
Lazari, he has
fine,
Hakimi.
Yeah,
Who knows? Who
no,
knows?
I
no,
don't know if he has Hakimi anymore.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. Ricky,
He's
do you
gonna
want
have
to
They want
Matteo
80
Darmian.
million.
Ricky, do you want to talk us through Juve's fourth place? We'll talk about Juve, Milan,
Wow.
Inter, and then we'll go for Napoli loss, and we'll talk about them together. And then we'll talk about Ricky was suggesting, which is true. We'll talk a bit about the biggest disappointment for us as a whole, and then especially relegation teams as well. Yeah, go on, Ricky.
I mean, just wow. I couldn't have imagined a better ending. Like, I was really shocked. I was saying it to Luca. The last Serie A match day, I had the flight to come here in Sardinia, which was at 9. So I lost the first, and then the flight was also late. So I lost like all the first half. I remember landing and seeing Juve 3-0, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Napoli, I think they were maybe 0-0, and I was like, whoa, and you guys were winning. And yeah, obviously the Napoli game, totally unexpected. I thought they could have lose point in Florence, but then they won 2-0, still in the second half, but they managed to get the win. And honestly, you guys, AC Milan, round of applause. You went there to Bergamo, 2-0. You did your match, and you deserve the spot. You deserve the second place. And I mean, in the end, then we can also talk about Pirlo. Season overall, 2 trophies, Champions League spot. Champions League, obviously, we went out with Porto, but still, like Luca was saying many times, you got Pirlo, first experience as a manager. You surely can expect him to win either the Scudetto or arrive like in the semi-final of the Champions League. But yeah, I was really, really, really impressed. I don't want to say I gave up, but I was starting to understand that we were in a situation where maybe Europa League but I think that the Coppa Italia win was a key game, and that gave us. I mean, we didn't have much to do. It was more for Napoli or Milan to lose to lose it, but still the win against Bologna and the last games they were important. The win against Inter, which arrived like in the last minutes, also that crazy season. Like it was years I didn't experience a season like that, because like this time we were really fighting for Champions League spots, and usually it was instead for the Scudetto, and then it always went well. So this year was very, very tough year, but in the end, fortunately, I'm very impressed. Yeah.
I have a quick question for you. What grade would you give to you, like as a whole, and using more of the Italian system, where a 6 is a passing grade, and then like, you know what I mean, basically.
I've always said it. Like overall, the season was not good, because I think the thing I hated the most was losing points against small teams on the right side of the table. I said it maybe in the last episode, and I will remember in the last months I was always saying this. The match against Benevento, we lost at home. Those were 3 points that, if we consider them adding to our final 78 points, would have been comfortably into not comfortably, but in surely a better situation in the last part of the season and in Champions League. And so, in the end, as I said before, 2 trophies, Champions League spot, and if you say like that, you can give Pirlo, since it was his first experience, also a 9, for example, because the results with him are what you expect from, I mean, a manager that had 0 experience. But personally, considering and analyzing how these results arrived, I think 7, because like I expect a bit more, just because we are Juve and the name says it's important, but still I consider that Pirlo it was his first experience. So I can't ask more from him. But I would say 7, like decent season. But like obviously, so last thing that I will stop. That I was saying, we can't go from winning 9 Scudetti on a row to risking not getting into Champions League. So for that
Becky,
reason,
that's why I would potentially say Pirlo and the score. Like Pirlo, I would give him, as you said, like an 8.5 and a 9. I said that from the start of the season. Pirlo, I thought it was absurd that people were thinking that Juve was going to win the Scudetto.
Yeah.
So a manager who's never had experience, it just can't happen. Then if we give a separate grade to the squad, I think the squad is maybe like a 6 because there were a few standout players like Chiesa, McKennie, like for the first 2/3 of the season, Quadrado, and some really good players. But then there were like, of course, Ronaldo still scored 28. And then there were the players who had just dreadful seasons. But then if you give a grade also to the management team, to the Società, then I think you could give like a 3 or a 4, to be honest, just because they were the ones who put Pirlo in the position. They were the ones who, in my opinion, didn't have a great transfer window, and then also the whole casino with the Super League and everything. Just agreeing with what you're saying. It seemed like there were very different criteria of evaluation for different parts of the club.
I agree with you. I just want to say that I agree with the management team. For me, Pirlo was just not a good choice. It was perfect for him to go with the under 23 and stay there.
Mhm.
But when they brought him to the first team, I like when he had the difficulties throughout the year and the loss against Benevento, 2-2 against Torino, and when we lost 3-0 against you guys. I mean, what can you say to Pirlo? Like, it's his first year, but the problem is the management that they put him in that situation. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But in the end, he managed somehow to get the results: Champions League and 2 trophies. That's why I say a 7, considering how it went. Poteva andare peggio.
Yeah, definitely. It went well. I think now I hope that Pirlo actually. I read that there's a rumor maybe he gets the Sassuolo job. That would be very nice. For him.
That would be interesting.
Really?
That would be interesting.
I think it'll be a real
I was reading
test. It'll be a real test.
And I mean, to be honest, he's gotten a lot of criticism, and I think some of it rightfully so. But at the end of the day, he deserves, I think, to try again in Serie A and get another go, because it wasn't a disaster. No one expects Pirlo to win the Champions League, the Scudetto. So
yeah, absolutely.
Amy, what's up?
I wanted to quickly say is, like, you did see throughout the season certain moments of, let's say, like, brilliance. Even I think especially the Coppa Italia, both the games against us, where they in the first game, yes, they got 2 pretty lucky goals, but at the end of the day, you got them. Like, you can't complain. You played your game. You didn't concede to us, the best attack in the season in the league, in the second leg, which I think was pretty impressive. Even the 3-2 against us, that was a pretty good game from you guys. How you played the head-to-head basically till the red card for Bentancur. So
beat Barcelona 3-0. They beat Barcelona 3-0.
Of course, it isn't the same Barcelona from the past, let's say 3-4 years, but it's still Barcelona in the Champions League. So there's the difficulty is those highs and those lows. Like losing to Benevento, it just ruins everything.
Yep. Well, should we just move on then to one point?
One last thing. One last thing on Pirlo. I said it in the past episodes when we were approaching the final and the UCL battle and the Coppa Italia. That and also when we did the in-out about the managers. For me, I said if he manages to reach Champions League and win the Coppa Italia, he should be confirmed, and I am still convinced of this. Then maybe we can talk about it later with Allegri.
I don't know if you remember. That's what I said, and everyone was criticizing me when I said it, except you. Everyone else, because I said that Pirlo, at this point, since the step was already made to make such a big decision, just confirm it again. And I think we were talking about this, us too, that Juve essentially just threw away 2 years.
Yeah. What's the point? Okay, Sarri, it's maybe a different situation, but what's the point of appointing Pirlo for 1 year, his first year with 0 experience, and then sending him away?
In such a weird year, It's not a
Yeah,
year which you can
exactly.
call a normal year. It's
Yeah.
COVID times. You get matches which are getting cancelled left, right, and center. There's no fans. So many things could go wrong.
Yeah. Then I understand that on the other hand, Allegri maybe gives the management and the Juve environment a more
You know what it
security
is
and
as well. Juve is a publicly listed company, so you need
yeah.
to reassure the shareholders as well.
Yeah.
When someone like Allegri, it gives more confidence to investors. I know
Exactly,
that.
exactly. Confidence to the environment. But since he managed somehow to get the results and another year, another opportunity, because you started the journey and you have to stick with it. Otherwise, it's a bit like you're
Mm.
taking a decision and then going back. You're just losing time and not making any progress. Yeah.
All right, should we move on to Milan, or does anybody else want to say something on Juve?
Yeah, I think we can move on.
Yeah,
If you want me to take
Alright.
it away.
Yeah, Luca. Yeah,
Go for it, Luca.
go for it,
Yeah.
Luki.
Well, I think this podcast has been a little bit Milan biased throughout the year, so I don't want to keep it too long. Just a tad, maybe. So I don't want to
Maybe
keep you
Tonali
guys too
biased.
long. So, Tonali bias, definitely. I don't hide that. Always and forever. No, but Milan. What can I say? I mean, the only downside of the season I can say is seeing Inter win the Scudetto. Other than that, it's an A+ for me because Arda has a Salamakers jersey. Wow, that's a nice one. I like that. What was I saying? No one expected Milan to win the Scudetto, even though, well, no, actually, there were a lot of people who did expect Milan to win the Scudetto, but I think wrongfully. I never believed it personally. Arda keeps showing us his Milan collection. So considering what our ultimate objective was getting into the Champions League, we finished in second place. I'm extremely happy. I think there were a couple of moments where I was just incredibly disappointed with the team. And I think those are still moments that you have to look back on and try to fix, like Cagliari. Cagliari, I don't think I've ever been that depressed after a football match as the Cagliari one.
Yep.
Also, I don't know, Sassuolo. But then also against the big teams, either we played incredibly well or we got demolished. Inter demolished us, Juve demolished us, Atalanta demolished us the first time, Lazio demolished us. It's sometimes with Pioli, you get that feeling that either we're gonna win super convincingly, or within the first 5 minutes you can tell that we're gonna lose, and there's nothing you can do about it. Aside from Serie A, also in Europa League, I think we had a nice run. All things considered, we lost against on paper a much better team.
And we had so many injuries as well.
Yeah, of course.
We weren't at fullest of our strengths.
And what can I say? At the end of the day, I'm overjoyed. I'm looking forward to Champions League, and if I can say a couple of thank yous, let's say first of all, Ibra. I think because we've been kind of getting tired of thanking Ibra because, of course, we've been saying it for so long. So now kind of the focus has shifted on players like Calabria, Kessi, Pioli is getting a bit more credit. But I want to take that step back and say Ibra changed everything. And credit due to everyone else who put the work in, but Ibra, he's just, they haven't built a statue for Maldini, so they won't build a statue for Ibra. But if someone did deserve a statue, Ibra would. Yeah. And Pioli, very happy for him. And then of course players like Calabria, Kessi, Tomori, Kier, who's really stepped up and just put an exclamation point on this season.
Yeah, I wanted if I could add something to. I completely agree with everything Lucas said. There was a point maybe where mathematically you could think about Scudetto, but realistically in your heart you knew what your real goals were. But I think the thing I'm most glad about is the fact that we're second. Finally Champions League. It's also where your mindset can go now. When you're in the Champions League, you can actually think about Milan in a big way. Players can actually be attracted to coming to Milan. You can get rid of the deadbeats. And I'm so glad that so many players, as Lucas said, stepped up. People like Calabria, Kessi had an incredible season.
Yeah, Kessi. Luca was talking about Ibra. Sorry if I interrupt you.
Yeah, go for it.
Kessi, you mentioned it. I was thinking there is someone else. Kessi has been the real, because Ibra with the injuries, but Kessi has been all the time.
Kessi was the best on the pitch. Ibra definitely the best off the pitch, and just as he contributed to the mentality more than actual on the pitch.
I think the last game against Atalanta was very symbolic for what we were saying. Like, like at the end of the day, we didn't play well, but Casillo was running for 7 people on the pitch at the end there when he was standing in the corner flag protecting the ball, and there's 3 players on him and he was holding them off, and then the way he scored with 2 penalties as well, absolutely incredible. Yeah, I'm really glad, and just the names which are getting now, the fact that we can get rid of the Castillejos and that lot, and then we'll be talking about Donaluma in a minute. But sorry, I'm just glad. I'm just relieved, and I'm happy. I'm happy there's a squad which I'm actually happy in seeing. They look like they're nice to each other. Like, they look like a real team. There's a real good vibe and feeling. I can't wait to go back to the stadium and really live it. But anybody else want to say something on Milan, or should we move on to Inter?
Before we pass it on to Inter, I don't want to sound salty when I keep talking about Milan. We were never in the run for the Scudetto. So when I pass it to Amy, first of all, I want to say at the end of the day, Inter was entirely better than us, and they fully deserve the Scudetto.
Yeah.
So we were first for a large part of the season, so just completely discrediting it like, oh, we were never there, isn't fair to Inter. Definitely they get the credit for being better than us. And Amy, go ahead, mate.
Well, thank you first of all, because like throughout the season, it was always, I think it was great seeing it again, like Inter and Milan going for it. Like, Milan is back to be, let's say, a big team. Like, this is what I started feeling when the Spalletti came, where basically you weren't afraid to go and play other teams. Like when like 2 or 3 years ago, when we went to play Juve, when we went to play, I don't know, Napoli, Lazio, I was always really scared of how the game was going to go. I would have been happy if we got a draw. And then I saw it in Milan, especially this season, like how the players, they knew they could win. They knew that they could play their own football. And honestly, the way this second place came is fully deserved. Especially, as you said, almost half of the season, I think, in first place, just absolutely fantastic. Then, let's say, coming to my team, it's now it feels a bit more bittersweet, let's say. And I think I'm gonna have to enjoy this Scudetto a lot more than what I expected. I already was thinking after Sunday, on to the next one. We're gonna try starting a new project. I'm not saying going for 9 like Juve or 5 like we did in the mid 2000s, but start a streak basically. And in reality, we all know how that went, but we'll talk about that later. Basically, for the season, I think almost every player performed how they did. Some were a bit of a flop, especially if you look at Vidal, him earning 7 million a year, I think he does. But overall, I can't complain. You get 91 points. I don't know how many teams in history would have reached that point tally, but can't complain at all. Basically.
I think Inter had the the best team, and my expectations were that. I think, especially with Pirlo going to Juve, it was got to be that. And as I said many a times, the thing that impressed me the most was when Inter was in a bit of a crisis after getting out of a UCL. I thought that was a point where it was make or break, because people were calling for Conte's head at some point. And the fact that he got back the team and he not only went and won it, but he won it in such a dominant way, I think was quite incredible. But we'll go back in this order. So we'll go.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
About Inter, because at the end we see Inter 91 and the others 79, 78. So I was just thinking, is Inter, I mean, we were saying that this year it looked more competitive and stuff. I'm not saying comparing maybe to the years where you guys had, I don't know, Schelotto or other players like that.
The good years.
Yeah, but this year basically Inter did the Juve of the situation, winning, because in the end they dominated this Serie A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
It was just,
and the expectation was
just,
that, though. You know what I mean? They didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't
but I felt it would have been more fought, until the
really?
end.
I don't know.
I agree with that as well. It should have been a bit tighter, but
Yeah, but like in the end, if you swap maybe Inter and Juve, it was the result of the past 9 years, in a way. But
You really like talking about Juve winning, don't you? You really like it, don't you?
no, congratulations to Inter, like Juve in the past.
Congratulations, but we won it 7 years in a row.
Jokes aside, it was a nice.
All right, we'll do it in the same order, but we'll now talk about managers. So we'll go from Inter. Amy, tell us what happened at Inter and how you feel, and then we'll talk about the others as well and what it could mean for next year. And then after that, we got to move on to the thoughts, guys. So let's.
I'll go quickly.
Yeah.
Basically, when I first started reading it, I think it was early in the morning, and I already knew I think the Mazio started reporting it, then Romano I think said it. I can't remember exactly the order, but basically, when I read it, I was like, "This is gonna completely destroy us for the next few seasons." It's not that firing Conte is a mistake, in my opinion. Of course, you're cutting a project short. Conte, of course, 91 points, as I said before, can't complain at all. But it's the fact that you're basically cutting off ambition. You're basically going back to saying, we're here to compete, but not really, basically. Where you start now to look at selling players. We got someone like Inzaghi. It looks like, I don't know if anything's official yet.
Yeah,
I think
Inzaghi's official.
It's official.
Inzaghi, he was announced by Inter,
no? It's not. No, it's not.
He announced that he's leaving Lazio, so more or less. Yes.
Okay. I mean, maybe Inter hasn't posted it yet, but
he called Lukaku apparently. And
I spoke with Sang. He told me that they would announce him this week.
Okay.
Apparently today he called Lukaku.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like even someone now I read Sarri is going to Lazio. Even someone like Sarri, in my opinion, would have been a better option. But I guess if you look at what Sarri is like, how he plays, and considering we don't have any money, you couldn't have made a revolution to fit Sarri's system, let's say. So I guess in the end, Inzaghi is the best compromise, I guess. I think we're very quick to forget how last season he was basically Juve's main opponent till, of course, the pandemic hit Serie A and stopped everything. Also, he managed to actually perform in UCL, unlike Conte or Spalletti, let's say. So I guess for next season, it will mostly depend on how many players we keep. That's my biggest worry, let's say.
Yeah.
Biggest
One
fear.
thing I can promise you, Amy, is I actually think in a way he's a budget Conte because he's a 3-5-2 merchant. He's a 3-5-2 one-trick pony, but he also has a kind of winning mentality, and he sets up a 3-5-2 differently for different games. It's always the same formation, right? But they play differently based on opponent. And they know how to play nice football with a 3-5-2. Both managers know how to play nice attacking football with a 3-5-2, so that's why I think he's actually a pretty good appointment for Inter. I think they did a pretty good deal, especially since it fits their project of cutting costs. Just in that context, I think it's a really good hire, and I'm really sad that we lost him, but I really wish him well at Inter, because a famous saying is, "Il laziale è un signore," we're gentlemen, so I can do nothing but wish for best.
I have a hard time agreeing with that.
I have a hard time agreeing with
Me.
Yes. Right. Let's move on to Milan. And Luca, do you want to tell us something about Pioli and how you feel about Pioli staying?
Yeah, I think I already kind of said it before. I think he deserves it, definitely. There's moments where he doesn't convince me as a top coach, and I do still see him as that kind of bridge to a next top-level manager, kind of like Spalletti was for Inter. But I think it's right that he was confirmed for this season. It wouldn't have been right to, he worked so hard to get us into the Champions League, to take that away from him. So I'm confident in what he's done. I just think he also needs to reflect on his season a bit and see what did I do wrong in those games where he just completely outclassed and I couldn't react at all. Since the Milan discussion is pretty short, just wanted to quickly say we could be looking at the best Serie A season in the past 10 years as a minimum, considering how many top-level managers we have in Serie A right now.
Yep.
If Sarri actually gets confirmed to Lazio, Spalletti Napoli, Mourinho Roma, hopefully Pirlo goes to Sassuolo, that would also be nice. Juric is at Torino, hopefully we can see them go up a bit. Gattuso to Fiorentina. Max Allegri, of course, returning to Juve. So yeah, just wanted to say that because I'm really happy about that. And also, I think this would have been the season to change Serie A to 18 teams. Because I'm sorry, but with all these great managerial changes coming in, I honestly don't want to see teams like Salernitana, Venezia in Serie A. I think it's a waste, and once again we're gonna have that kind of no man's land in the middle of the table where teams are just not doing anything. And yeah, so hopefully Lega Serie A can
all our
consider
fans
that.
from that area are really pissed off right now.
No,
Amy,
I mean respect to the teams; they deserve
yeah.
Serie A, right? But when you think about it, like Salernitana, do they really need to be in Serie A?
Actually, I kind of disagree. Like, look at Benevento this season. They took what 4 points from Juve.
More than Benevento.
No, Amy, but what I'm saying,
why did they have to win only against us?
I mean, like,
think if there were 18 teams, though.
Look
at the last two teams. They have 23 and 20 points, Crotone and Parma.
Yeah, but it would be all like it would be very different. Like, it's not like you just
it would be different, but yeah, of course it would be different. But I think still we were saying it so many times this season. Like, there's Sampdoria, there's Sassuolo, which was surprisingly up with the top teams. Then you have Sampdoria and a complete no man's land, 52 points. Their season ended at the 18th day of Serie A, 18th day pretty much. They knew they weren't going to get Europe. They knew they weren't going to get relegated.
That's true for other teams as well.
Same as Genoa. Same as Bologna.
No, but
really.
Genoa did the
Genoa.
More like less, I would say.
Also Udinese.
I feel like that could happen also with 18 teams. No,
but if you have 18 teams and 3 relegations, it's much tighter. You know,
that's what Germany does.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way,
right, that's just my personal
opinion. I predicted
opinion.
Genoa to do the biggest improvements, and you guys said Fiorentina.
Yep, we'll talk about that in just a sec. I just wanted to add. By the way, just a literally quick fire question, just yes or no. I don't even want to hear your reasoning. If Sarri does go to Lazio, does that mean that Milan has the worst coach out of the top 7 teams? Luca, yes or no?
Quick fire.
Yeah.
On paper, yes. On paper,
Johnny?
Yes.
Well, yes. I mean, we had Pioli at Lazio too. I'd say yes.
Ricky?
It's a hard question to answer just with a yes or a no, but I agree with Luca. On paper, yes, but that doesn't mean anything. So I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, exactly the same as Ricky. On paper, yes, but doesn't mean much.
Fair enough. All right, we'll move on to just very quickly talk to us about Juve, but you did mention the fact that the project was cut short. Does anybody else have anything to say about Allegri returning to Juve?
I just wanted to quickly say it's going to be interesting what they do with Ronaldo and Dybala.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there.
I know that I've heard that they want Dybala like as the main... not as the main, but as an important player for Allegri. And I don't know then how much it's true of this, but that Ronaldo didn't have this great feeling with Allegri. But then those are just news like that. Yeah, we don't really know. I said it before what I think about the manager situation. I'm not saying that I am completely desperate for Allegri coming back. I obviously hope that he can do well, and as we said before, he gives that confidence to the environment. But like, to be honest, as we say in Italian, the minestrina riscaldata. If it was Zidane, I would have been super happy, and that would have been really, really interesting to see. But Allegri, we'll see.
The thing is, Allegri wins. And I rate personally Allegri higher than Conte. So
yeah,
I feel like
we'll see. It's strange and interesting at the same time. Yeah. We'll see.
All right, we'll move on to Lazio, and then we'll quickly talk about Napoli and Roma. Atalanta we'll talk about another time, but then we'll talk about, as I said, we'll move on to Lazio. Johnny tells us something. We'll talk about just a tad about Napoli, Roma, and then I think we should just move on to thoughts because we're 40 minutes in. All right, Jonathan, tell us about Lazio's managerial situation. You know, you're
No,
sad.
more
that-
Sarri. Inzaghi already mentioned him.
Yeah,
You just get
exactly.
an
It
opinion
seems
about
like our
Sarri.
two options are either Sarri or Italiano, so Spezia's coach. Apparently, he had like a 4-hour-long meeting with Lotito or something yesterday. So, and then today, Tare invaded Sarri's house, according to Di Marzio. Yeah, he literally tweeted something like "Blitz." Like I can imagine Tare and his like Albanian buddies just entering Sarri's house. You know, really like a mafia TV show style. But anyway, well, it's looking like we can get Sarri, and you know what? I think it means that Lotito has money to spend because no way Sarri's saying, "Okay, I'm going to come. We're going to get another Muric, another useless left back like we do every year, the tradition, and you're going to be paying me 3 million." I don't think so. I think he's going to get a good salary. I think he's promising some good money, and I think maybe it's no coincidence that he has to sell Salernitana. Perhaps he decided to spend the Salernitana money. I don't know.
All right, guys. Go on.
Quick question: do you think he's an upgrade over Inzaghi?
Before I touch on that, I want to say one more thing why I think this move is true, is that remember before Lotito tried to sign Bielsa in 2016, and he offered him 3 million a season back then, which was crazy, because this was 2016.
Yeah, I remember. Then he went to Marsiglia.
Yeah. Because then apparently we didn't get the players he wanted or something. But anyway, the thing is, like already in 2016, Lotito showed that he had the ambition to one day spend big on a manager, and that's what I think he's doing now. So that's the way I see it. And whether he's an upgrade or not, I think I don't know. I do not think he's an upgrade, but I think he's something different, and we'll see how it goes. And he's something different, but in all of his last seasons, he did really well. In Chelsea, got like third place, right?
He won a European trophy.
Yeah, true. He's probably an upgrade. Like in Chelsea, got third place, right, or something like that.
Yeah, Chelsea, they were top 4. I'm not sure
Conte,
exactly.
No, I think he got third or something. And Conte the year before got like 5th or 6th. You have to, and the year after, Sarri came in and he won Europa League and he finished third or something like that.
Yes,
then he went to Juve and he won. You can say, okay, winning at Juve is easy. I don't think so, because when you saw what Pirlo did this year, so Sarri's still a great manager. Then there's also what he did at Napoli. So actually, now that you think about it, it's probably an upgrade. But Inzaghi is just like a certainty. You know, you just know that with Inzaghi, you're still going to get the Europa League. We're going to be chilling, and Sarri is more exciting. You know, there's a lot more upside and also probably more downside.
But Sarri is surely someone you need. Maybe Juve was an exception, but like I think at Lazio he would definitely need at least from the 2 to 3 years to start, you know, getting results, like better results, and being, I don't know, maybe even for the.
I think the problem with Lazio is our team, like for primers right now, like all our core players, which apparently Sarri likes, so probably our midfield, right? He probably really likes Fat Correa, I think, because he wants to play 4-3-3, which
Jorginho, Milinkovic, Luis Alberto, it's nice. Bro,
Jorginho just won Champions League. What's he gonna do at Lazio?
Oh, he's gonna follow.
But I know that
he's gonna call him, and
Inzaghi agreed with Lotito, like a replacement for Lucas Leiva. So we're gonna get that for sure. And I don't know, maybe we'll see what happens. But we're gonna be playing 4-3-3, which is good. We're gonna need a right winger, or maybe Lads replaces with a right winger. You know, that's also a possibility when we buy a right back. I don't know, but it's gonna be a very interesting summer for Lazio. Big change to the team, but the core will remain intact. So that's what's important. But our players are all terrible anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, and then guys,
riddance.
Let's throw some comments in for Napoli and Roma. So Roma getting Mourinho, sending away Fonseca. How do you see that? Do you see Mourinho as someone who can actually do something interesting, or is he a bit washed up? Because he hasn't been good for a while, I think. Someone just jump
Mourinho,
in.
No, Mourinho, I think in Italy, it's the best place for him to go. I think his tactics aren't. It's not maybe his tactics themselves, but the UK and Premier League, I think tactics are less important than in Italy. And I watched the interview with Kane and Gary was it Gary Neville? Yeah, the other day, and they were talking about Mourinho, and Kane just kind of said that Mourinho didn't really fit into the philosophy of the club, and that was the main issue. And he had a lot of pressure on him as well. I think he goes to a club like Roma. They just finished 7th. He's gonna do better than this season, no matter what. I think.
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't, then I'm ready to say, okay, Mourinho's done as a manager. If Mourinho doesn't get 60, if he doesn't get more than 62 points and better than Conference League this year, then okay, then it's over. But I think he's going to do better. Maybe he's going to need some time, but in Italy, I think he's going to do well.
There's one thing I want to say that's important about Roma is you have to consider last summer we didn't spend anything, sure, but this year they already like offloaded a ton of players. If we're going to offload more, Mkhitaryan's going to go. We're probably going to sell, Kluivert or Under. We're basically offloading a ton of wages for Mourinho to come in, and now it's time for Friedkins to put in a ton of money and get him a lot of good players.
Yeah, Under is leaving. I think Kluivert, Mourinho really liked him already when he was coaching Manchester.
Oh yes, true.
Yeah, and then Zaniolo is going to be back, and Mourinho also wanted to bring him to Spurs, so he really likes Zaniolo. They're going to need to get a new striker, that's for sure.
So I think we're going to spend a ton of money. I think we're going to have a really good team, and unfortunately, I see them finishing top 4 next year, but we'll see.
Who do you think drops out?
I think
even
Milan.
considering what Luca said, like better than 62 and better than Conference. Who do you think like drops it? Even to 7th, let's say.
I know. I think Milan's not going to get Champions League again because we're going to be playing in Champions League, right? It's a lot harder for them, and I think other teams are doing crazy upgrades. We need to see what Milan does because Milan's losing Donaluma, and you have to consider how many points you want them.
I'm convinced. I am literally convinced one team will go down if they don't actually buy someone good. Atalanta.
True.
Atalanta is going in Europa League
their famous, as Johnny says, juice will end.
I am convinced.
Let's say
I think more players are going to have a fight with Gasperino.
This is a disclaimer. Arda has been saying this since like 2017.
Yeah,
Atalanta would drop off the next season.
Yeah,
but Atalanta always does really good purchases. I think
the thing is,
see what we do.
This is my prediction.
Now they say Ilicic will go away, but they have like Miranchuk that I think he will be very good maybe next year.
They have 600
Atalanta probably has a ton of money, right? Did you guys see Atalanta's wage bill? I swear it's like mid-table level. It's like low mid-table level.
50 mil a
year. The highest salary in the team is 2 million euros. Players like starters are making I think for midfielders, all of our starters in midfield are on 0.8 million a year. And they get Champions League every year. Imagine, think about how much money we're making.
To be fair, it's Freuler and Deron. Like, I don't think even if they
win. But no. But come on. We're making Champions League every year, and for 2 starters in midfield are on less than $1 million a year. It's crazy.
Amy, what was your prediction?
My prediction was that Atalanta will start the year off like really poorly, probably get through the Champions League group, but probably be somewhere around 7th, 6th, maybe even lower. And then, as they always do in the second half of the season, they're just going to ramp it up and probably fight for top 4 again. So that's what I think is going to happen next season.
I mean, someone needs to drop out there because also like Napoli, Spalletti, everywhere he's gone in Champions League. I think there is some crazy statistic. Now I don't remember it, but almost all of his past seasons, even with Udinese, he brought Udinese into the Champions League. And I don't know, either Napoli, I see like Spalletti bringing them to 2nd, 3rd place, or just like total failure and he's sacked after like 15 games.
Yeah. I think the thing is you have to consider, with such big changes, at least 2 of these teams will implode.
I think.
Yeah, God, I hope it's not us.
Yeah, I really hope it's not us too.
Like, I think at least 2 of the top 7 will implode. Maybe even 3, At least 2 will implode for sure.
All right, boys, let's move on to thoughts because we're 50
Can
minutes.
I say last thing about the table? Yeah, relegation. I remember that when we used to discuss this, I always said that one between Spezia and Benevento would go down rather than Torino or Cagliari because of the experience and the years they've been in Serie A. And in the end it was very tight. Torino drew against Lazio and then they were safe. But I was right, so
I also think
Bye-bye, guys.
there was a couple of. I also think there was a lot of controversy around Benevento going down.
the Cairo direct deposit hit perfectly when she was about to take the penalty. She had a little earbud in and looked at the caller and said, "No."
And the first goal as well was stopped. Okay,
Yeah.
That game was
Yeah,
so
no, so
robbed. That
the
was great.
relegation was very fought. Was a battle.
all right. We'll move on to team of the season. First of all, we'll go. I'm reading really cheesy here, but I really like these foot cards. So
I was gonna recommend these. They look really good.
So these are the 5 MVPs selected by the Serie A team officially, and we'll talk them through. I think we can maybe So the first one is Donnaluma's goalkeeper. I think we can all agree he was the best goalkeeper in the league. Yeah. Then this one is already someone who could spark some debate. Romero as centre back. I would have put him as the best purchase, as in I think it was the best purchase.
I think they don't do that though.
I think
No, they
definitely
don't.
was the
But
best purchase.
yeah. I don't know, though. For the value of the money, Romero's like 20 million, though.
Yeah.
Hakimi wasn't 20 million, you know what I mean? And also, I don't know, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong. Hakimi hasn't really done that much in very big games, has he? Like, he's played really well, but never like being like a game changer in big games, has he?
He made Theo look like Jonathan from the glory days. So I don't know.
Yeah, good.
No, I kind of agree though. Like that's what I wanted to quickly.
Not
touch
as much as
on
Romero,
when we wanted to talk about Inter, or when we talked about Inter, was that Hakimi, yes, he gives you a lot more in like really open games, but when you have possession and you're like trying to break down a defense, for example, the Shakhtar game, the Juve game in the Coppa Italia, he's basically useless. Like he can't do anything. His crossing is terrible. His close passing isn't really great. His dribbling isn't amazing. He has a really good shot, but I think if we want to make that extra step, I don't think Hakimi is going to be that big of a difference between us doing really well in Champions League or not. But that's just my opinion.
All right. Romero. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, no, sorry. Finish off on Romero.
No, I just wanted to say I think Romero was really good this year. I don't know if I would have given him best defender though. So I want to ask you guys, if not Romero, or if you want to say Romero, it's fine. Who would you have given it to? And we'll just go through all your choices. Amy?
De Vrij, I think, best defense in the league, deserve to have the best defender. De Vrij or Skriniar, one of the two.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah, Luca?
Yeah, I would have said Skriniar. Or even if you count Gozens as a defender, maybe he also gets a shout because he scored 10 goals. But I think Skriniar probably. Yeah,
and then Ricky?
Yeah, staying more on center backs, I would say more De Vrij, perhaps.
Yeah, Jonathan?
He's dead.
He's dead.
Whoa. He said Musacchio. He said Musacchio.
Right. So I think we can. I'll put him in as well, and then we'll keep Romero in the team, right, guys?
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it's not totally crazy to have him there. So
I agree with his choices. I said the same.
Skriniar probably. Hakimi and Gosens on either side.
We'll go through the MVPs first, and then we'll.
Okay.
So, our MVP is the midfield MVP. It goes to Barella.
Best midfielder in Serie A. Best midfielder in Serie A.
Listen. This is the thing, Emilio. Like, I think
Barella won the league.
I'm more than happy.
Best midfield wins in football. Barella wins in.
Listen, I am more of. I don't know. I think Kessie was such a character. I'm more. I think Kessie this year. I don't know who I'd rather have. Wait. I'm not finished. I'm saying I don't know about who I'd rather have. I don't want to go into that discussion. But this year, I think who's been more important to the team has been more of a carry in all ways. I think Kessie to Milan.
Yeah,
your team 100%. He stands out more. It's like the Paul.
Yeah, but
he take the Paul out of Udinese, they're getting 5 points.
Look at the games against Man United as well. I don't know. Like I think. Personally, especially if you have already an Inter defender and the Inter
United's not in Serie A.
I personally think Kessie should be better.
But guys, in terms of who would you rather have? It's simple: Barella at Inter and Kessie at Milan. I wouldn't rather have Barella at Milan than Kessie because in a 4-2-3-1, the 4-2-3-1, I'd much rather have Kessie.
But the fact is that best midfielder of the season, I think Kessie hands down. Like also for what they have done for their team. Kessie basically, as I said before, with Ibra, but he was the real pillar of Milan that brought them in the Champions League. Kessie this year was very, very Like
You guys,
phenomenal.
you guys forget how good Barella was because he stepped off the gas in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
Like in the last month and a half,
Yeah, but
I agree
Cassino.
with
we already won the
Emiliano. I
league.
agree with Emiliano.
we already won the league.
You can't say Barella's not the best midfielder of the season. You just can't.
You guys want me to be
Yeah.
diplomatic and say tie, or do you want me to split the tie since it's 2-2 right now?
Go for it, bro.
Split the
Go,
tie,
go,
split the tie.
Tonali.
That's Sandrino. No, I'm gonna kind of follow Johnny's logic. I'm sorry to say. I think Kissy was
He was amazing.
more
man.
important. He was more important relatively, and he's like right there under Barella. I think just as far as the award goes, I just give it to Barella because he won the league. But
All right.
I would
Next
rather
up-
say a tie. I would rather say tie.
All right, next
Yeah,
up
but
is
you know
two
what?
more awards. Oh yeah, wait, there's one more. Sorry, I forgot. But this is kind of obvious. But Vlahovic won under 23. I think Jonathan was the only one who had something to say about that, and it was that Lautaro should have gotten it. But is Lautaro under 23?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
he's
He's
did.
23. He's 23.
Yeah,
he
Vlahovic
is
scored more than
Vlahovic
23.
deserved
Yeah,
it more.
He
Yeah, but
deserves it.
Lautaro won the league.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah, but
No,
we
Vlahovic
can't
got
base it
relegated,
just off
come
of
on.
that. We can't
Yeah.
base it just off of that.
Put on
guys.
that
I agree with
now.
the Barella thing, but then otherwise we need to give every position to an Inter player.
Yeah.
No,
All
I
right.
agree
Anyway,
with Vlahovic.
okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
the striker of a season though, as an MVP, was won by Ronaldo. Do we all agree that he was top scorer?
Yeah, he was top scorer.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that some people are like, oh, because Juve didn't do that well. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
maybe
but he
Ronaldo's a bit.
He scored what?
Yeah.
29.
That's the whole
Yeah.
point I was talking about is that sometimes people forget about how again he's been top scorer and he's been scoring so much. Maybe he was a bit overshadowed by some bad performances, but at the end of the day, numbers speak, and he has got to be the best striker. I think nods to Muriel as well. He was pretty solid.
Oh, you know what I think about that.
Yeah.
I've said it many times. I would be wearing a Muriel jersey right now if it didn't mean giving a single cent to Percassi. No way.
True.
And then
I told you, Colombia doesn't have an online store.
Honestly, in my opinion, the three attackers for the tots would be Muriel, Lukaku, Ronaldo.
wait. But then
Yeah.
Lukaku. Speaking of, Lukaku is the ultimate MVP of the season, and I
Super
think it's
deserved.
more
Super
than
deserved.
deserved. But
Yeah.
not only is just deserved. I think he was a span above any other candidate for that award. Like
Yeah.
a span, like quite a few. All right, now let's take off Vlahovic, and now let's form together our team of the season. So we got.
Are we
Donaluma
using
there.
this formation?
Why do you take off? He won the award.
Yeah, but we're not going to keep it on our absolute team. So let's start us off. So right back, guys. I think it's between three players. So and then, but we'll talk about who they are. But I think the nominees should be Calabria, Cuadrado, and Hakimi. I personally think a bit more Cuadrado because of the thing we spoke about before.
I
But
agree.
I think in the order it should be Cuadrado, Hakimi, and then Calabria. But I wouldn't sleep on Calabria that much. I think he's had an incredible season, especially for the expectations we had on the player. You know what I mean?
Calabria could get like the most improved award.
Yeah, we did that on the Italian version of the.
in Calabria.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's Cuadrado.
Cuadrado.
I thought
I agree with Cuadrado.
for me the best improved player was like the most surprising / improved player. It was a game between Bastoni and Calabria. I think it was between those two. But Bastoni honestly had higher expectations. Like Bastoni, I was expecting him to be good. I wasn't expecting Calabria to be back good. Then left back guys, I think it's between Gozens, Theo.
Gozens and Theo, yeah.
Gozens,
Guys,
Theo, and Di Marco. Di Marco had a pretty good season too.
Yeah, but come on.
Only half of the season.
Let's be honest. Milan is a team of corpses dragged by players like Theo.
Yeah. I give it to
And they
Theo
got
because
second.
otherwise Milan is only getting one player in. So I give it to Theo.
Oh, Gosens.
Frank is also going in there.
Gozens plays as a winger.
No,
He
exactly.
plays as a left back.
That's-
All right.
I feel like
And there's also Gigio.
Next up,
Oh,
midfield.
no,
guys.
never mind. I take that back. I give it to Gozens. I didn't see
You give it to
Gigio.
Gozens.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, because otherwise
okay.
Atalanta has no
Scandal.
players.
No, they have
Gosens
also.
was
We'll put
Yeah,
Muriel.
yeah.
Think about how decisive Theo was for Milan.
Yeah, but also the matches in which
Gozens.
he didn't show up.
Yeah. All right. So who's voting for Gozens? Is it Amy and Ricky? And
And Johnny. I know.
No, Jonathan is Theo.
Okay.
And then Theo, Luke, and Johnny. I personally, I don't know. I'm a bit partial, and I think there's a lot of times where Theo has cost us some games this year.
I think
bro.
the formation
defending.
really makes a difference. I think if you put Teo in a 3-5-2, I think he scores more than Gosens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll keep Teo Vera.
He was definitely the better player. It's not
And I
even
think
close.
it's crazy that he's not being called up by France again. But yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have two more places that stay in midfield.
Like Cassis,
One's got to be Cassie.
Cassie, of course.
I think the next
Fabio.
the next place.
Zielinski.
Whoa, bro. Okay, everyone chill.
Maybe him at Cam.
Okay, wait. Everyone chill the fuck down. Okay. I think the nominees are between De Paul, Zielinski, and
Fabio.
pretty good.
I
Yeah.
put Zielinski at Cam, maybe. I don't know.
You know who I'm gonna say who.
But he wasn't. You know what it is? I think if I had to put a Napoli player, I'd rather put Insigne. Even though it's Cam, it
I was
doesn't matter.
I was about to say Insigne. I was about to say
Insigne has
Insigne.
to-
You have to put Muriel.
If he had like maybe scored against Verona, I don't know. I feel like it's just Napoli's
Insigne
season was
got,
too
like-
disappointing at the end.
Guys,
Like
Insigne
Insigne,
got,
he
like,
scored
20
19
goals.
and he carried.
Yeah.
I know, but at the end of it, Napoli choked so hard that he has to
Yeah.
play a part in that.
Zielinski has to go in the
captain
midfield, and I
they're-
think Muriel has to be the cam.
I'd rather put
Yeah.
Insigne than Zielinski, to be fair, because Zielinski didn't show up in the big.
Honestly,
games.
I would rather put neither and give some credit to one of the small teams and put the.
I'm gonna put De Paul. Yeah, for me,
Right.
De Paul.
Yeah.
All right. I like
I
it.
like De Paul.
I like
Because,
what
like, if you think about Udinese without De Paul this season, they would have probably seriously struggled for the relegation.
Every time Udinese scored, you knew that it was either the pole goal or assist. Literally every single time. It was crazy.
All right, man. Last but not least,
Can we put Muriel? I mean,
what's up?
can we put Muriel there in that position?
Well, we can put anyone. It's the last
I
place.
think-
It can either be a striker or a midfielder.
I'd like to nominate Mkhitaryan.
No,
'Cause
they
if you-
finished like seventh.
No?
No,
I think it's the same.
No, I think a
It's a
shout
good
out. I
name.
think a shout out is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
Shout
Shout
out,
is
yeah.
fair, but I think it has to go to Muriel. Like he
I think
decided
also-
so many games. for
Yeah, I
Atalanta.
agree with Muriel. And then in attack, well, we already mentioned Vlahovic. I'd also give a shout out to Simi.
Yeah,
Not to put him in the team of the season, but
Yeah.
he had a great season.
Yeah.
But yeah,
every
I think
every season Simi had in Serie A has been fantastic.
yeah.
All right, so no
He's a
Napoli
proven,
players
I'd
are
say he's a
going in
proven
there.
Serie A striker. I
We just
definitely.
literally
Johnny,
picked the
would you
same.
like him rotating with Chiruzzo?
I don't know. Now that we're taking Sarri, I don't know. Like Sarri likes the strikers to be able to control a ball, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now I'd really like
who have been Sarri's strikers in the past?
Well,
Napoli
Mertens.
was-
Mertens.
Mertens, yeah.
Then in
Uh,
Chelsea it was
Higuain,
Giroud.
of course.
Alright.
Higuain. He had Higuain.
Yeah, Higuain.
Then in
Yeah.
Chelsea he had
Salut.
He had
Giroud.
Higuain as well for and also
he had
Higuain
Giroud. It
for
was
some time.
Giroud. Giroud was the main striker.
Diego Costa. No, that was
I think Correa
No.
is going to be so good under Sarri.
Yeah, I
he's
think
gonna be
Correa's gonna play on the
incredible.
left wing, and he's gonna tear. He's gonna
tear.
in his natural position. He's gonna be insane.
Is he naturally a left winger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Oh,
He
probably.
played very for Sevilla when they won everything.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah, that's
guys.
nice.
Guys, we got to an hour and 3, and we did the tots. I think we're gonna skip the flops
Yeah,
for
not-
this episode. But what's up, Luca?
Not much originality in this team of the season. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
it's
they
the
put out.
same.
To be fair, but we did mention quite a few players. You know, the Di Marcos, the Simis, the Vlahovics, the Calabrias. These players that deserve a bit more recognition. I think if we had to put some more names in there, someone like
Yeah, let's give some shout outs to the kind of teams that don't get a lot of exactly Barak,
Ibra. I just want
Soriano.
to say Ibra should get a shout out.
Ibra.
We didn't give him one.
Imagine
Yeah,
having
so-
this team as your Fantacalcio team.
incredible. Incredible.
2000.
Someone like Soriano. Soriano gets a shout out
Soriano,
from
yeah.
me.
Yeah, Pellegrini, I think had a pretty good
Someone in
season. as well.
Sassuolo, maybe Locatelli. Locatelli, we're gonna shout out.
100%.
Berardi had a good season, guys.
Berardi.
All right, now we're gonna get to a more interesting one, and we're gonna do this really quickly. Sorry if I said we were gonna be done, but we're gonna do flops super quickly. We're gonna go through each position, and we're just gonna nominate a player and see who's the worst goalkeeper. I think the worst. No, I'd like to nominate the Roma goalkeepers, guys. I think they were trash. Or I think it was between Roma goalkeepers and Strakosha. Strakosha got his like titolare place stolen by a fucking bald guy called Reina.
Yeah.
I think
Reggaeton.
Strakosha, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I think also Sirigu was bad this season.
Yeah, but he did
I think
with that last
Toro's-
penalty save. I think
Oh
he
yeah,
did-
true.
Toro's
Yeah.
defense was horrendous. So
yeah. Well, apart from
Mm.
Bremer did quite well.
that was
Right,
good,
next
yeah.
up, defender. I think Gleek has to be there because I was expecting
Oh,
so
yeah,
much more of him
definitely.
for Benevento. I
Mm.
think he was like. Oh yeah, sorry, we didn't mention before about De Ligt also had a really good season, and there's so many players we could have talked about. Anyway, flops again, another centre back. guys,
Demiral,
and
maybe.
I was
You know
about
who
to
I'd
say
put just
Luperto
because
from
of.
Crotone.
Yeah, I mean, I think these
Yeah.
players are like easy to say if you
Yeah,
just look at the worst in Crotone,
Yeah.
then yeah. But I think we need to look at the more like overly disappointing
yeah.
players.
Expectation.
like,
A lot of
yeah,
Cagliari has to be in here.
someone like Smalling.
Yeah,
I think
Smalling.
Smalling.
True,
He
true.
was last season. He was incredible. This season, he was either injured half of the time, and which I don't consider an alibi for players. People
Yeah.
often they say, "Oh, he was injured." Like I understand if you break your knee, but like someone like Smalling who gets injured every 5 days and it's something different, like it has to be your fault at that point as well. Like you're
I
clearly
think,
doing
yeah,
something
that's
wrong.
the expectation as well, yeah, because they brought him back and it was a big thing. Right, left back guys, I'm gonna nominate
Kolarov.
Kolarov, please. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I remember people saying he was going to be good.
I forgot about his existence. To be honest.
Right back, huh? Who could be right
Young.
back? Is he?
Who?
He's on the left,
Yeah.
Young.
So young. I mean,
Young's on the
not
left.
No,
Guys,
no,
I think-
Young
I
Young
can
did
say-
what he had to do.
Wait, this guy's actually a left back, but
Oh,
one of
Malquis.
the I think
Malquis.
one of the worst players I've ever seen on a football
Yeah.
pitch in Serie A,
In
Mitchell
Praga.
Dykes in Bologna. Bro. He's so
Oh,
bad.
God. No, I put in terms of expectation, I put Malquis when he went to Fiore. He was meant to
I
play
agree.
right wing with them. But
I
still.
bought him in Fanta, didn't play a single game.
Yeah, he was trash. Right, midfield guys. Vidal. I think for me, he was a player I had the biggest expectations who flopped the hardest for me. Like I thought Vidal is like I was like Vidal. When I saw Vidal, I was like, wow, this guy is gonna
Arthur.
he's gonna be crucial. Yeah, Arthur.
Arthur. Maybe even Sensi as a nomination. I don't know if he.
Nah, poor him. He got injured so much. I put Tanag.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
Fuck you.
Next,
Yeah,
next
I'm looking at this
midfielder.
one.
I think it's between like Diawara was absolute trash.
You know who I also think
Yeah,
is
I'd
like
put
super
him, actually.
disappointing? Yeah, Diawara is a good shout, and also one who kind of went under the radar, Amrabat. Last season he was so good.
Yeah.
We bought him for like 25 million.
You know who I'd rather put over Amrabat? Castrovilli.
Castrovilli. Yeah,
Castrovilli.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Castrovilli's second half of the season was terrible.
He was literally not there.
I mean, second half, aside from the first 5 games, pretty
Yeah.
much.
All right, top,
yeah, true.
up top, I want to nominate Boga. Boga has to be
Muric.
Muric? Okay, wait. Muric.
Yeah, Muric for the price tag, Boga for the expectations.
But
Boga.
also the play, bro. He's disgustingly bad.
And then
No, I know.
last-
I know, but bro,
last
who
one-
expected Muric to be good? I saw
I'll
him.
go-
I saw you guys.
I'll
Man,
go-
I
we
said,
paid
"Look,
18 million. I thought Tare knew
Man's
something
the
about football.
The last one.
Bro, I saw the picture of him and I said, okay, Lotito's on
I'm not
crack.
sure.
Come on.
Right. I think the last one is a 3/4-way game between Pedro.
No, he scored. You mean one of Roma? Yeah.
Yeah, Pedro.
Pedro Bianchi.
Yeah, Pedro behind.
I think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
understood
yeah.
Joao.
Pedro.
Yeah. My bad.
Mandzukic was really bad,
Ooh.
but
He was in a wheelchair.
No, I wouldn't consider Mandzukic. He arrived. Okay, he didn't do anything, but he arrived. in January.
Callejon,
But,
Ooh.
Cajon.
and a surprise one, Dzeko.
No, Dzeko, no. I would
Dzeko-
say Callejon. Because
I would perceive. I think because we already put Castrovilli in, I think Pedro has to be there. Because Pedro, I think I was expecting so much more from him. I thought he was gonna like destroy.
Well,
Serie A.
he scored in the derby. Sorry, Johnny, but I think that made up
That
for all
it.
the Roma fans.
Yeah, but he didn't
Scamacca's
score-
father.
Yes, come on.
Wait,
Yeah,
guys,
he-
I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna go downstairs. My parents' cars are gonna be destroyed tomorrow.
All right, guys. So who are we voting for?
Mandzukic.
I vote for.
Mandzukic.
No,
Mandzukic,
who did I
yeah,
say?
yeah. I don't even think Mandzukic is on FIFA.
Honestly, I take him at Lazio this year.
I say
Who?
Callejon because he had
I think-
phenomenal years at Napoli, and then
I don't think
this
we can
year he
have
was inexistent.
3 Fiorentina players. So.
Yeah.
I think
A bit
the
much.
whole Udinese attack.
Yeah,
Deulofeu.
Okaka.
Half of them broke their ACL.
Yeah, but Deulofeu was
They
injured.
had
guys.
Deulofeu,
Llorente.
Okaka, Llorente. They had good options. Like But at the end of the
I'd
day, it was
consider-
either Depol or Bust.
guys, I put even someone from Cagliari has to be there. Someone like Simeone could even be there.
Simeone.
Yeah,
I consider
Simeone.
removing
It's supposed to be
Muric,
Simeone.
honestly.
Fantastic.
I
shout.
mean, but did we have high expectations from him also?
Yeah, much better than what he did.
I think higher, yeah. I mean, Cagliari had a team to compete for 8th place easily.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Man, even you know what? Instead of Muric, even Kalinic, to be fair.
Yeah,
but
I'd consider removing.
I really
No,
consider
guys,
removing
Muric has to
Varane,
be in,
maybe.
but
Yeah,
it
Muric
has to be
very-
a flop.
Muric was
Muric
playing a lot.
is a
He
meme,
has to
of the
be.
year.
All right, guys, well, we are.
And then just two guys who I wouldn't put them for the whole season, but for the second half of the season, just because of how poorly they did with Enzola and Zaccagni.
Yeah,
They started out so well, second half of the season, absolutely terrible.
100%. All right. Apart from that, guys, that was our flop 11. I'll just read through it. Strakosha, Kolarov, Glik, Smalling, Malqui. In midfield, Artur, Vidal, Castrovilli, and up top, Muric, Bogan, Simeone. That's one of the worst things I've ever said and read. And so, guys, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure from us for the Catenaccio Podcast, boys. What can I say? Let me say bye to my panelists. I don't know when we'll be back. Maybe during the Euros. Maybe I don't know. We're going to organize, but it was an absolute pleasure during this whole Serie A season. Being with you guys, the support we had was amazing. The numbers were really good, and we cannot wait to continue next year when I will be in the UK as well with the other boys. And hopefully one day we can manage to do this all in person, which would be even more fun. So let me go from my left. Amy?
Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I don't have another breakdown if something gets announced from Inter in the next few weeks.
Mazzari
Yeah.
official.
Mazzarri or Starmaccioni, someone like that. Back
my
to the
God.
past. But yeah, see you guys.
Luca?
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And now Serie A is over. Only one thing counts, Forza Italia.
Yep. Ricky?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I jumped on the bus halfway through the Catenaccio Podcast season, but I was really happy. I enjoyed spending these hours with you guys. And yeah, as Luca said, now Forza Italia, and let's hope we can do a nice Europeo.
Johnny?
Guys, I'm smelling tobacco in the air. Sarri's coming to Lazio. And
I think you're smelling something else in there, mate.
Nice.
no comment.
Well, as I said, as these guys said as well, season's over, so there's only two more things I can say. One of them is Forza Italia. The second one is us, Turkey. So
No, you can't have both. It's the first game. It's
no. Between Italy and Turkey, I support Italy. Then
Okay.
eventually, I'll support Turkey for.
I respect it.
Respect it. Apart from that, guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, I'm gonna get the old outro song on, and we'll leave you to it.